Hey guys, and welcome to the Mangos Method. I'm Donnie Mangos. I am a realtor in Toronto and I'm a very passionate real estate investor. Yes, I love investing in real estate. Those that know me know that about me. I've been passionate about this for the last 10 years. I believe it really is the best way for me to invest, because what it does for me, it allows me to build money in a passive way. Meaning I don't have to work hard for it. I don't have to spend time away from my kids to make this happen. Money continues to find me monthly. So passive income is gold. This is the first in a series of 4 videos where I'll be sharing some information about what I've gone through, where I'm at, how I got here, and all that kind of stuff. The goal of all this is really to show you that you too can find a way to create income outside of your job. Call it passive income, guys. That's where true wealth is built. Look, I don't invest just to invest, and there's no purpose to that. I have a huge why when it comes to why I invest, and I want to share that with you. That's the purpose of this video. Okay, right now, if you were unable to, or if you chose not to work, chances are your life's going to be a bit different. You would lose a paycheck, you would lose funds coming in, but definitely the bills being paid are still going to be there. They're still going to have a requirement. And if you stop working, there'd be an end to the income, right? See, most of us aren't living the life that we thought we'd be living at this point. We're trapped by a paycheck, we're trapped by a job that we may or may not love, but we need that job. And that whole need really affects our livelihood. See, the reliability of that paycheck means everything. I've been there, I understand. The reliability of having that certainty every 2 weeks I'm seeing funds in really changes what we can and can't do. It really changes how we think. But what happens if someone decides to stop paying you? What happens if every second Friday you stop collecting those paychecks? Like, how does your life look then? Do things change? Is that a thought that keeps you awake at night? It did for me. It should for you. See, most of us aren't operating with a plan B, and that's a problem. Whether or not you realize it, it's probably a problem for you as well, and it should bother you. So I want to encourage you to take control of that. And the answer to this whole thing is passive income. Income that is going to be made regardless of if you're putting in effort or not. Income that's going to find you regardless of where in the world you are. That's passive income, and that is real wealth. When you can replace your job income with passive income, that's financial freedom. That's planning for your future. Could you even imagine whatever you're making right now? Could you imagine if replacing that without having to work for that? How does your life look then? Pretty sweet, eh? I recently asked many of my closest friends, you might have been on that list. I said, what plans do you have for your retirement? Are you financially prepared for your retirement? And the majority of people said no, they weren't. So they were needed to continue to working until they got to 65, hoping for a pension, hoping for a government plan to help them out. And that's not good enough. I'm sorry guys, that's not good enough. I want to share with you why I started investing. Okay, this is a very personal experience, and this is what happened to me, and this is what really triggered that change in my mind. I used to work in a different field. I used to work in IT. Probably my last job outside of real estate. I remember I used to walk the same path every day. I used to walk the same path down the street, pick up the coffee on the way to work, up the elevator, cross the hall, and I would pass 2 departments on the way to my department. And every time I walked out of that elevator, I saw the same people. I remember seeing this one guy sitting in a big, massive cubicle over there. A heavier dude, didn't look all that healthy, probably in his late 50s. And there he is sitting, filling out forms for an insurance company. So here he is filling out carbon copy forms, actual carbon copy forms. That's his job. Not really skills that are transferable, you know, in this era. This is back in 2007. Even back then, that's unheard of. Okay, we're all systems based now. He would do that. And every day I would see him doing that. Until one day. One day I remember walking out of the elevator, coffee in hand, in the morning, and it was quiet. I look around, no one's around. And I look at this man's desk, and the desk is cleared. He had been fired, or laid off, or cut back, or outsourced, whatever. The entire department was gone. And I remember thinking to myself, I stopped dead in my tracks, and I'm looking at his desk, and I honestly wanted to crumble with fear and with just pain. I wanted to cry for this guy. Somebody decided, hey pal, you're no longer needed here. You gotta go. I'm sorry. You've been wonderful for the company, but we're moving on. Could you imagine the fear and terror in this man's mind? Here I am in my late 50s, planning for the next 3-4 years before I retire, planning to save up the rest of the money from my last working years before I can retire, using the company as the basis for this entire plan. Maybe he doesn't have assets. He probably didn't. Maybe he doesn't have his own plan B in place. Someone took this man's dignity, someone took this man's pride, someone took this man's financial future, someone took this man's hope and all that, just ripped it from him. And I remember feeling so angry, and I made a vow to myself right then. I said, I will never be in this position where somebody has that kind of control over myself or my family. Never. And I've seen it happen again and again. And so I decided, yes, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm starting my own thing. I'm going to figure out a way to create passive income. I don't need to rely on my company. I don't need to rely on anybody to take care of me well into my future. See, I wanted my future to excite me, not frighten me. I don't want to be trapped. I wanted to be excited by my future. That's a very different mindset. And so I decided to investigate many different alternatives. How do I start investing? How do I create this path? Now, I've tried it all, guys. I've tried like mutual funds. I've met with planners. I've equities, stocks, bonds, options, partnering in businesses, all these things. And nothing was as easy, but as fun, or as rewarding as real estate investing. And not just real estate investing, because I've gone, there's many different paths you can go down real estate investing as well. I'm at the point now where what I want to have doesn't exist yet. It involves creating it there. And that's a part of this series. So I'm going to be talking about my own path, what I've done along the way, how I've gotten there, and now what I'm into these days, which I have found to be probably the best thing I've ever discovered. So keep watching, stay tuned. I'll have some more videos along the lines of all that. I'm happy to share everything I know with you guys. I really want you to understand that there are better ways to set about planning your future and your finances. Okay, you deserve more, your family deserves more. Let's get it going, all right? Any questions or comments in the meanwhile, guys, hit me up, Donnie@teammangos.com.